let me paint a picture for you.
Mm-hmm.
Was working from home on Monday morning, as you're aware.
Yes.
As you also work from home on Monday morning.
Yes, we both do.
Was coming downstairs, went to make a cup of tea before my Monday morning team catch-up.
Yep.
And to my horror, I'd forgotten to get milk.
Oh, dear.
Yes. And so I was like, I don't have enough time before my meeting. I don't have time to nip across the supermarket.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'd never bought anything from I've never gone in the grocery section on Uber Eats before.
Yep.
So I thought, nah, I'll give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it a go. So got milk, obviously. I think I added a couple other things. Like I think I added bread. I added some bananas. I added a bag of grapes. Okay.
Yeah.
And thankfully, it all arrived before my meeting.
Yeah.
And I was pretty happy with the price I paid. Obviously, you pay the delivery fee, you pay the service fee on top.
Yeah.
But as I said, I've never actually used it before. But as far as I'm aware, they've changed the way that they do it with the grocery ordering. So it used to be like a little, the order docket would pop up and then someone would go and pick the order and have it ready for collection. But now the Uber Eats driver goes around and does the shopping and they tick it off as they go.
Yeah.
So I paid a pretty good price for it. And when the guy dropped it off, he left the receipt in the bag and it actually cost him more to pay for it than what I paid. Like the milk was like $2 and a bit,
yeah,
which is pretty cheap. I got a big bag of grapes for $1.40. I got 4 bananas for 90 cents. I was like, can I get away with doing a full shop on Uber Eats? Like I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like how has he spent more money when it's like my food?
See, when you started this, I thought this is a bit of a plug for Uber Eats, but it's not really at the same time because you're talking about.
I'm almost like going into bat for the Uber Eats drivers.
Yeah, a plug for Uber Eats drivers.
Yeah, the unsung heroes of stealing people's chips.
Welcome, Jackie, one and all, to another episode of Fine Leg to Full Forward. It is raining pretty heavily outside.
It is coming down. I'm pretty thankful that it stopped for my journey home from work today. Managed to escape
pretty
dry.
Unscathed.
Yeah.
It was pelting down during the day. Was it a point at work where it was just this is sort of like light, but
really?
There was a point, I reckon, just for a couple of minutes early today where I was scared because you can hear the where we live, you can hear like a bit of a rattling sound as well. Like
actually, I have heard that before
when it goes crazy.
Yeah.
And I was starting to do that, and I got a bit scared because I was home by myself,
home alone.
Yeah,
because I'm all alone. No, I don't remember it being that, but maybe I was just that focused on work that my eyes never veered away from the screen. On the straight and narrow. Just earning that bread, mate.
That's it.
That honest living.
How was your weekend, mate?
It was pretty good. Pretty good, I think. I went to the footy, my old man, on Sunday. Caught up with some friends on Saturday. Went to Denzel Curry at Festival Hall on Friday.
Yes.
That was sick. That was sick. Like I felt like I was too flat out in the lead up to really get excited for it. And I had this weird moment where I'm like, that guy's like, that's Denzel Curry. He's just like standing there.
That's him there. That's him in person. That's him.
It's weird because I never really had that moment. Like I've seen artists that I've been bigger fans of for longer.
Yeah.
And I never really had that moment like with Charles Gambino.
Yeah.
Never really had that. But then I was just like, oh yeah, that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And like he was awesome. Such a massive stage presence. Like he sounds exactly the same live as he does recorded.
Yeah.
Just a funny guy as well. Like he was giving so many people shit in the crowd. But yeah, man, so sick. How was your weekend? You were up in Brizzy.
I was up in Brizzy. Yeah. For just a few family events. Couple of
I did see that
little birthday thingamajiggies.
I did see that. I think.
Did you?
Yeah, it was a one of your nephews, one of your niece's birthdays.
Yeah.
No, you got tagged in on Facebook. I saw that.
Ah, okay, right. Yeah. So that was on Sunday and Saturday, and something funny that happened was, so on Saturday night, we have this thing called a cradle ceremony. So when a baby's born, and on the 31st day after birth, there's this cradle ceremony thing where you get people to come over. And I'll be honest, I don't know too much about what happens during it, but it's more just like you just get people over and you have a dinner. So that
sounds nice.
Yeah, so that's what happened. But the baby's grandma, my auntie, was also her birthday on the same day, and so we surprised her with a cake, and so it was just one candle on the cake. We sang happy birthday, and she went to blow it out, but instead of blowing it out, she took the candle off the cake and then went and like literally held it as if she was like smoking a dart or something. And I'm like, this is for like my 50-something-year-old auntie. This is the most thug life shit I've ever seen in my life.
That sounds so badass.
The only thing that would have topped it off is if she actually like flicked the candle or something.
Yeah,
like,
just flicked it
blown
away.
it and then just flicked it or something. But we literally lost it. It was hilarious.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, that was one of the moments of the weekend, I reckon.
Yeah,
highlight. But yeah.
All right, well, let's discuss some more highlights of the weekend and run it back. All right, so I'm actually going to run it back this week because, as we mentioned, you were in Brisbane. You haven't had a chance to catch up on the KO minis and the top 10 moments of the round like you usually do.
Yes.
So I am going to run through this for the listeners and for you.
And for me.
Mostly for you. Like the listeners seem to know what's going on most of the time. So round 7 done. Port have now won something like 8 in a row at Marvel. They beat the Saints. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Jeez.
I comfortably and confidently tipped the Saints.
Yeah.
And Port got the jockeys. Richmond. Speaking of Marvel, Richmond still haven't won a game at Marvel since Dimmer said that he hated going there.
When was that?
2021, I think, something like that. He said, I hate it here. I hate coming here. There's something about like there being no life in the stadium, and they actually have not won.
Yeah.
Saturday night prime time, mate. I don't know if have you had a chance to see the scores at all?
Yeah.
There was a bit of a questionable decision that was made on the fixture.
Okay.
So Melbourne played North Melbourne.
Yeah.
And Carlton travelled over to Perth to play West Coast.
Yeah.
And 2 crackers, you just said cracker.
Yeah.
You're spot on there. The collective margin for the 2 games was 198 points.
Yeah.
They were the 2 Saturday night.
Big numbers, right?
Yeah, ridiculous. Like, I just don't understand who fucked up the scheduling of those games because no matter how well North or West Coast were going, you wouldn't have picked that to be a close game anyway.
Yeah, because the fixtures are normally decided at the start of the year, right? So
I think up to like the last couple of years, it's like up to round 15. I think is set in stone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, but so that was an entertaining watch on Saturday night, mate. You didn't miss much there.
Yeah. No, I had a quick check of the scores, and yeah.
And then you would have seen Collingwood won another close game.
I did.
They trailed at 3/4 time.
Low scoring, right?
Again. Yeah. I think Adelaide kicked like 7-16 or something like that.
Jeez.
So inaccuracy probably cost him in the end.
Yeah.
2 blokes that weren't inaccurate though, mate. 2 big bags. We love big bags on the show. Charlie Curnow kicked 9 goals 3.
9 goals.
9 goals 3. And Tommy Hawkins, career best, 8 goals 1. Curnow's was career best as well. Just cancel out that Geelong bias there by, mention that it was both a career best.
Yeah.
Funny part, you obviously wouldn't have seen this because you didn't watch the game, and why would you when the score's like that?
Yeah.
It was pretty obvious that they were trying to feed Curnow in the 4th quarter to get him his. I think he was at 7 at 3/4 time. I think something like that, and he kicked 2 pretty quickly.
Just little like in the goal square handballs or something.
I don't know
like
what that. No, I don't
Yeah,
necessarily think they were that, but he did kick. He was on 9 with a long way to go in the quarter.
Okay.
And it was pretty obvious they were feeding him from that point. And then they just weren't able to get him, and Carlton turned into the most accurate team in front of goal. Like instead of trying to set up Charlie by the end, they just did not miss.
In like everyone else was just kicking set shots from everywhere, from the centre square.
Like, Charlie's still a 90 boys, and they just run from 50 and kick it through. It's like, okay, he was probably free in the pocket there, but no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, be a couple of big bags, which we love to see, and that's pretty much that's the bulk of what happened. I think. Yeah, probably missed something, but I'm sure if you worried that much, you can go and watch the KO Minis yourself.
Yeah, I think I'm up to speed. Saints still on top? Because they lost the port.
They lost the port. I think it's Melbourne
on top.
I think it's like Melbourne, Collingwood, Brisbane.
Yeah, right.
So they're like towards the top. It seems pretty like a lot more normal compared to Collingwood, Melbourne, St Kilda, Brisbane.
Okay.
Yeah, so Saints still up there.
Still up there. Yeah, we do love the Saints.
We love that. Still nice and close along the ladder. Across the top 10 really. So
yeah, we
love it.
We do.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the round. We kind of blitzed through that because you've got something you want to say.
I do. I don't want to say I'm going to go on a rant. I just say that I'm going to tell you a story.
Tell me a story. We love spinning yarns on this show.
We do. So as I mentioned, I was up in Brizzy over the weekend. So Sunday afternoon, evening, I'm flying back to Melbourne. So my flight was at about 6:00 and got a notification just before, around 5, saying that the flight was cancelled.
Well, just as you got to the airport?
Yeah, got to the airport.
Yeah, that's convenient, isn't it?
Yeah. So you have to get there an hour before. Yeah, got there. Flight was cancelled. So you've got two options. You either get a refund or you select like the next available flight.
Yep.
And the next available flight that was recommended happened to be on the following day at 8:15 a.m. I've got work the next day. And not only that, the flight was from Brisbane to Sydney, and then it would stay in Sydney for 6 hours or so. And then there was a flight from Sydney back to Melbourne, which would get me to Melbourne at like 6 p.m. on the Monday.
That's a productive day at work there.
Correct.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Correct. And I didn't bring my laptop, so I can't work from home.
Did you want to name the airline? Or we?
No.
We
don't do that.
It rhymes with. Oh, no, don't worry.
we don't do that. So I got a refund and went with different airline, and luckily it all sorted out. But it was we were standing there. I was standing because Mum and Dad were going back to Sydney while I was coming back to Melbourne at the same time. And I was checking the email that was sent and the text that was sent. And it was saying that this flight's been cancelled due to engineering issues. Right?
Okay. I mean, that's not a bad thing to hear, right? You go, I don't want to get on a plane that's got engineering
exactly.
issues.
You think you're like, oh, yeah, well, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
It just happens to be that the flight that Mum and Dad caught from Sydney to Brisbane a few days before also happened to have engineering issues.
Sounds like a reputable airline.
Yeah.
Rhymes with...
No.
Okay. Wouldn't do that. No.
You didn't do it. Yes. So we were standing there in the queue, and Dad was like, if you think about it, there's only about 25 or 30 people here standing in the queue waiting to get a refund or anything. How many people do you reckon would be standing here if there was a full flight?
Ooh.
Yeah. So made me think, look, engineering issues, maybe there were engineering issues, right? But maybe, just maybe, there wasn't enough people on the flight, so they found another way to just basically get everyone else onto another flight later down and then just save a bit of money, right?
So you're accusing this airline?
Oh, I don't know. wouldn't name them, mate.
Et tu, Brute? Am I using that right?
I'm just saying there's a possibility. There's a possibility that engineering issues was used as this sort of, I don't know, this very quick, almost like a buzzword, right? That you hear it and you go, Oh yeah, yeah. That's. I mean, I guess I won't question it or think too much about it.
Yep. They've got a handle on things. They know what's going on.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. You sort of you say it and you sort of make yourself seem pretty smart, and then everyone else usually sort of simmers down and stops asking questions and stuff like that, right?
You had much experience in that?
In doing that?
Yeah, like seeming really smart and everyone else simmering down, stopping asking questions.
Well, I feel like. What are you referring to? Is there something that I've actually done? Okay, right.
I was just
I thought there was like an inside
intelligence.
reference.
No.
No.
Don't. It's a safe space, mate. Don't stress about it.
But I don't know if I have much experience, but I know we have a lot of experience in this.
Right.
Yes, because I feel like with Run It Back, quite a lot.
Oh, it's a segue. Okay, cool. Carry on.
I mean, where is he going with this? We're almost like consultants.
I think it's fair
we're
to say.
like, flit of consulting, effectively. That's effectively what you could call us.
The natural progression after wedding planning. And
Yeah. We're here to sort of provide suggestions, help people out. So I guess you could think of us as like full-time consultants to the AFL.
Mm-hmm.
So after my flight experience and thinking about how the airline handled it and coming up with buzzwords and spinning things slightly, we thought, we could be here this week to assist with a whole bunch of issues that the AFL might be struggling with at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit out there, isn't there?
Yeah, there's always controversy out there, mate. There's always, a lot of talk, a lot of drama, and you want to just simmer things down. You want to settle everyone, and a great way to do that is just injecting a bit of mumbo jumbo,
A bit of mumbo jumbo. Yeah, okay.
Buzzwords here and there, just to reassure everyone that you're smart.
Yep.
And that things are going to be okay. Right? So what we're going to do is go through a few, I guess, controversial issues or talking points or things that you've definitely probably heard before that the AFL would be maybe somewhat nervous talking about openly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to give the AFL a few buzzwords that they could use.
Yep.
To just settle things down a bit.
I like it. Mm-hmm. Did you want me to kick it off?
Yeah, kick it off, mate.
Okay. So I think one of the biggest topics, whatever you want to call it, in and around the AFL at the moment is the Tasmanian AFL team. Okay. Now there's people kicking up a fuss about funding and talent and grassroots and all that. Okay.
Yeah.
And you'd kind of, if you're the AFL, and of course in this scenario we are talking to the AFL.
We are, yeah.
It's part of Flit of Consulting.
Yes.
And what we'd kind of we'd want to sweep all that under the rug. We don't want people worrying about that.
No.
Okay. You want everyone to know that we've got this situation under control.
Yes.
And there's method behind the madness. Mm-hmm. And so the buzzword and the key recurring term that you'd keep putting out there would be non-mainland representation. That sounds important for the game.
It does.
It sounds like something that needs to happen for the game to keep growing and progressing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you just chuck that out there, non-mainland representation.
Yep.
People aren't going to question Tasmanian AFL team. They're going to go, absolutely, we need the Hobart
Hurricanes?
No. I think the Hobart Hurricanes is actually a team already. What's an animal that starts with H?
A hippo.
The Hobart Hippos. Yep. They're going to be all for the Hobart Hippos.
Yeah.
Thanks to non-mainland representation. See, the buzzword's still there.
I feel like, buzzwords just need to roll off the tongue in a way, right?
Need to roll off the tongue, but they also need to sound corporate and sophisticated.
Yes.
Because you want to get that level of intelligence across.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Because buzzword, like headlines, news headlines, sometimes they roll off the tongue too, but they're kind of designed to make people angry. Like you want people to get up and about when you read a news headline. This is like sophisticated and roll off the tongue, but like we want it to be
Soothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Controversial issues. I think during Gather Round there was this stuff about a few sellout games, which were questionable sellout games, and I think the AFL wouldn't want to, talk too much about low selling games. They wouldn't flaunt it proudly. They wouldn't be like, yeah, this was a very poor, disappointing, blah, blah, blah. They wouldn't really want to talk about it, right?
No. And there was a recent one, wasn't there? Melbourne and North Melbourne. There wasn't a lot of people at the MCG.
No, there wasn't. So I think a buzzword that you could use for this would be audience variation experimentation.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Because we're talking about the crowd or the audience, and sometimes there can be a variation in the amount of people that attend games.
So we're claiming that it's sort of an intentional trial and error to try and work out like a best sort of atmosphere.
Correct.
At an AFL game.
Yeah. Because each ground has different varying audiences as well.
Yep.
But the audience is always going to vary, mate. So
as consultants, it'd probably be our responsibility to kind of field some follow-up questions, such as how would we be able to spin that 7,000 people at the MCG is like
financially viable.
There's a few issues with that, but no, I'm going to say that's not our problem.
No, it isn't. As the consultant, it's never your problem.
Well,
I think.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Bloody engineering consultancy mumbo jumbo. Cool. All right. So audience variation experimentation. Okay. All right. The next one, again, this is quite a topical one at the moment. It's around the concussion class action. So there's all these past AFL players coming out and we just said it. It's class action against the AFL
against
for
the
all
AFL,
long-term effects of concussion.
Yes,
in their playing careers.
Yeah,
and this is obviously something we, in other scenarios, we take a lot more seriously because it's no laughing matter.
No.
But again, this is something that you'd want to come across level-headed. You'd want to portray that soothing tone.
Yes.
You'd want people to feel like you know what's going on. You'd want to come across as though you've got a strategy in mind. Okay?
Yeah.
We're going to implement something, and that strategy could be. I'll just use the first word there, but it's a strategic neurological preservation.
Yep.
If you hear that, as a I don't want to say strategy again. What's another word for strategy? As an initiative.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You go. They know what's going on there.
Yeah.
They know what's going on.
I think
we'll leave them to it.
With that one, especially because it's like if it sounds more scientific as well, just using the word neurological.
Neurological with G.
We're cooking with gas.
Cooking with gas.
Yeah, that's good. All right, next one. A controversial issue potentially. Discussions around salary caps.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. I mean, that's just never going to go away.
No.
The more years that pass, the more money is going to get pumped into it. Like, it's just a fact.
Yeah. So a buzzword for this could be remuneration restraint protocol.
Okay. Yep.
It's remuneration is not a very common word, I'd say.
No. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Restraint protocol. Protocol sounds very official.
Yeah, no, it does. It does.
It almost like in I think the previous one we had strategic. You put protocol here. Almost sounds kind of military-esque or defense-esque.
Yeah.
And generally, the more that it sounds, that's kind of what you want. You want it sort of to be like, oh yeah, they're in charge. They know what's going on. They're taking control of things here.
Yeah.
So
it's just another word for salary cap, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I feel like it's got that salary cap has that sort of negative connotation in the media. So
it does. We want to wipe that negative connotation right away, mate.
That's it. We are consulting. Right. Do we go one more?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I suppose that we can. All right. The controversial issue. I mean, not everyone's going to agree on anything ever.
Yeah.
Expanding the game internationally. Now, we kind of touched on this a bit last week with our Anzac brothers and sisters across the ditch.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, you're either for it or against it, and chances are you very strongly one or the other.
Yes. Yes.
But what if we were to call it something like a market dilation initiative? What do you feel when you hear that?
See, I think it's quite complicated, which is what we want.
True.
Right?
True. It's a fine line between overcomplicating but sounding complicated enough.
Yes. And I think by avoiding using words like global or expansion, those are the words that people on the other side of the fence hate and they're terrified of, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's our game. I don't want these people playing it and that sort of thing, right? So if you just say market dilation initiative, there's not a lot there that's going to rile people up.
No, you're saying a lot without saying anything, really.
Yes.
Which, to be honest, looking back, that's what all of these are, really, isn't it?
So getting forward now, we've kind of established ourselves as Flissive Consulting now, I think.
For quite some time.
Yeah. I don't think we've kind of made it official until now, like with a proper name and everything.
No, yeah,
But,
and I'm sure people are blown away by the creativity there.
Yes.
Flissive Consulting.
Yes. But we've just suggested some buzzwords to the AFL to help sort of settle down a few issues. Now, say we are consultants, so we're here to provide solutions. How would we actually go about providing solutions for those issues themselves?
What do you mean? Like, have we not just run through providing those solutions? Like, non-mainland representation.
Yep.
Audience variation, experimentation, strategic neurological preservation, remuneration restraint protocol, and market dilation initiative. Like, haven't we provided the solution there? Like, what's not to get about that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I feel like that's pretty clear.
It's pretty clear. It's pretty concise.
It's a pretty odd question to kind of ask me to go through everything we've just gone through, but I respect it in a way.
Switch on.
So switching on, I'm going to keep on the theme of buzzwords. I have two questions for you. Bit of a stock standard switch on.
Yep.
Question one. That's a two-parter. All right.
Yep.
Which AFL stories are these buzzwords referring to?
Okay.
So I've kind of flipped it over.
Right. Okay.
So which AFL stories are these buzzwords referring to?
Yep.
Extensive succession. I'll try that again. Extensive succession research.
Extensive succession research.
It's a current AFL story.
Okay. Replacing the CEO, is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. All right. And the next AFL story, the buzzwords are employee defense intervention technique.
Employee defense intervention technique. Defense intervention. Okay, something about dangerous tackles?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep. No, you're right. You're spot on.
Cool.
See, I feel like they've completely done their job as buzzwords.
Yeah. That's perfect.
You've understood what's going on. Or have they not done their job as buzzwords, actually?
Oh, because I have understood what's going on.
Fuck, maybe I've just undone. Okay.
The entire episode.
I'm going to move on because I don't reckon you'll get these ones. These ones might do their job better.
Okay.
So, question two.
Yeah.
Which cricket stories
Yeah.
are these buzzwords referring to?
Okay.
So, the first one is strategic obliviousness maneuver.
Strategic obliviousness maneuver.
Yep.
Jeez, I got no idea.
It is a bit of a niche one. I couldn't find many current cricket headlines, to be honest.
Obliviousness maneuver. Not being aware of what we should not be aware of, and a maneuver that you're not aware. No, I don't.
No.
I got no idea. Man cad. I don't know.
It's no, I said it's a bit of a niche story. It was Stuart Broad came out and said that he was in his mind voiding the Last Ashes series based on restrictions and lockdowns and travel and isolation and all that.
Right.
He's on about morale being pretty low. So in his mind, he was voiding it. I said it was a bit of a reach, that one.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
And the next one is optimal finale configuration.
Optimal finale configuration. Something about grand final. Something about like team selection for a grand final. I don't know. Like leaving players out of a grand final or something.
I mean, you're pretty much there. You're pretty much there. Like, read the question. It says cricket stories.
Okay.
Now put in a current cricket story.
Yeah.
Put together what you just said.
Leaving.
No, not that part.
Okay. Grand final.
Yep.
Team selection.
Yep.
Current cricket team.
Do you want me to tell you? This is killing me.
Okay.
So, like, both teams have announced their squad for the World Test Championship final. Jesus Christ. I couldn't even hand it to you on a silver platter. Far out.
I was just like, as soon as I saw finale, I'm like, oh, this has got something to do with Pels. Like, I was like, oh, grand final or something.
Oh, true, yeah.
Funnily
enough, I've actually etched that from my memory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, they were my switch on questions, mate.
Cool. All right. I've got a couple for you.
All right.
Question 1. Let's say, for whatever reason, right? And I don't know what reason it would be.
Okay, good start.
The higher-ups have spoken and decided that a particular AFL game should not go ahead. Right?
Melbourne North, West Coast Carlton. One of those two, I'll say. We'll go back in time. We'll use the flit of time machine.
Some game should not go ahead, right?
Right.
Which of the following fake reasons would be taken the best by the AFL community? Like if you came up with a reason, right, to abandon the game.
Right.
You got to say this to both teams as well, and you got to say it to the entire AFL community.
Mm-hmm.
A, faulty lights at the stadium, or B, dangerous surface at the stadium.
Ooh. See, I could see either one of those. I could see them going either way, to be honest.
Okay.
Because you've got some fans that'll want to put the players' health first and not want to risk them on a faulty surface.
Yes.
But then you've got some fans who will they'd just be so irrationally angry at someone not doing their job properly.
Yeah,
with one of the light towers.
Yeah.
If it was like a power cut or something, that's different. But obviously, it's a faulty light tower.
Light tower, yeah.
No, I'll go the surface.
Okay,
I'll go the surface.
Just yeah. Because it's that. You don't want to risk the player's safety. You come up from that angle.
There's a chance that the light tower can be fixed. There was a delay at the Gabba, wasn't there? We did a whole episode.
Yeah.
They came out. Chances are with the unsafe surface, their game's not going to carry on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Agree? Disagree?
Agree.
Cool.
I think the only thing being, with the surface one, that both teams might get more angry at you because they'd be like, "Oh, why didn't you let us like practice on it?" Or like, "How do you know?"
Yeah.
Whereas the light towers, they can't. They're not going to say much about that.
True.
But I still agree. I think the safety point of view is like it has more weight.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Question 2. Which of the following? These are hypothetical, by the way. Which of the following hypothetical controversies would be easier to defend? Right.
Okay. Thanks for getting the hypothetical.
Yeah. This is hypothetical. It's very much hypothetical.
You're going to say in caps?
In caps. Yeah.
Underline, bold?
Italics, in bold. Yeah. A. Claims that umpires have been directed by the AFL to officiate in a way to ensure games have close finishes.
Right.
Similar to, I think people say that about the NBA. Like, the whole the NBA is rigged and calls late in the playoffs to make sure. Yeah.
Just match fixing, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. And B, claims that grassroots funding has been slashed over the past several years to make way for a separate budget to scout international athletes to play AFL. So that both controversial things. Which of those do you think would be easier to defend for the AFL?
Hypothetically.
Sorry. Both hypothetically controversial things. Which of those would be easier to defend?
Which would be easier to defend? Oh, probably the first one, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like you could very easily take a stance of, no, you've put your hard-earned money into this game. You've paid your hard-earned money to come and see this game. You want to make sure you get your bang for buck. You get your money's worth out of it. That's the stance I'd take with that one.
Yeah.
With the second one, I really feel like I really feel like people wouldn't be able to get past seeing young people come through. Like AFL is such a massive part of so many communities. So having not giving everyone the same, like as much of an opportunity to come through from the grassroots level, because of bringing in some international athlete who's got no idea about the game, what it means. I reckon that's a tough one to defend.
A tough one to sell.
Both controversial.
Yeah, but
I think making it more entertaining for the fans.
Yes,
that's the stance.
You come at it from that angle. Yeah.
What would you say?
I'd back it in 100% as well. Yeah, because it's like, everyone wants a close game, right? Everyone wants it's a good game.
You say that when you go to the footy, don't you?
Yeah.
Like you watch North, you're like, as long as it's a good game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. All right, look at us agreeing on shit. Actually, we do that more often than not, don't we?
Money! Money!
Alrighty, time for my mate's multi. My legs from last week. Leg 1, I said New Zealand to have more leg buys than Pakistan in their first ODI game against each other, and they did.
Yay.
Yay.
Anzac theme from last week.
Yeah, that's it. I think they had 4 leg buys to 3 or something. Oh, so it was a close,
bloody close game.
Close game. But
was it actually a close game?
I think it was actually. Yeah,
you didn't check the score properly, did you?
I think 290 something to 280 something.
Oh yeah, sounds close enough.
Yeah. Leg 2. My brother's dog will growl the first time he sees me. No, he didn't.
When he met you in dog?
When he met me in dog, yes.
That's good.
He was because they picked me up from the airport and he was leaning through the window and just like gave me a few licks straight away.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
What a very friendly dog.
Yeah. He's so chill. Like he literally he'll sit there, not say anything, and not bark for.
Thanks for clarifying that he wasn't actually supposed to be talking. Then people were confused for a second.
He won't say words because he's not a person; he's a dog. Okay, leg 3. There will be at least 2 games this round where both sides kick the same amount of goals. No, I don't think that was even 1.
Oh, really?
Nah.
Okay.
Even the Adelaide Collingwood game, they kicked the different just because the amount of behinds. No, so 1 from 3.
1 from 3. All right, mine from last week. I said that at least 2 teams will lose by more than 60 points. And right in Saturday night prime time. Blockbusters. So that one got up. I said the chips I buy at the Essendon Geelong game will be cold. Fortunately, unfortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, they weren't. I seem to have timed it, again, well or not well, depending on the way you want to look at it, because, everything was super fresh. Got a hot dog, chicken tendies and chips, and they were all fresh.
I'll take that over a leg getting up.
I would too. Although they ran out of tomato sauce. There was none in there, and they were like, we've just gone to get some. If you want to wait like 5 minutes, I'm just like, I'm not waiting. The game's about to start. I'll just have this without it. It's fine. But it was hot. So that didn't get up. And then leg 3 was when I forgot to do a third leg, and I just said that the other 2 legs will get up, and obviously they didn't. So
no.
1 from 3 for me as well, mate.
Cool.
Season average, probably.
Stock standard. All right, my legs for this week. Leg 1. Ed Sheeran's new album, Subtract, which drops this week, will have a reference to cricket in some shape or form.
Is that open to your interpretation?
Like he'll reference like
Warnie.
Warnie or like bat, ball, like childhood playing cricket, something.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a very, get the vibe, it's a very sad boy album. So I'm assuming there'll be some sort of maybe a bit of Warnie influence or something about his childhood and something.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
All right, leg 2. No one will be reported to the MRP during the GWS versus Bulldogs game.
Usually a pretty feisty game.
I know. That's why I'm
Ooh.
manifesting. I'm manifesting no confrontation. There was no confrontation at the airport, by the way, when the flight was cancelled.
Really?
It's like 25, 30 of us just waiting in the line to get refunds. I was looking around and everyone was just like chilling. I was like, oh, this is all right. Like I was expecting people to be like yelling and screaming and like being like,
Well, can you answer me this? Like, would they have been surprised based on the airline that it was? Which airline? Was it?
It rhymes. No. I'm not. All right. Leg 3. No one will score over 50 points in the NBA within the next week.
Okay. Like Steph did.
Yeah, 50. Drop 50 to say bye to the Wait.
You know this. You know this.
I do.
You do. They were the 3 seed in the West.
Sacramento Kings.
There you go. Well done.
Game 7.
All right. Okay. I like that.
Cool.
Your legs are always much more creative. Anyway, okay. Mine for this week. The collective margin of the 2 Saturday night games will be less than 198 points. I'm manifesting.
You're manifesting
I'm
that.
manifesting.
Another blockbuster. Yeah.
Leg 2. Jeremy Cameron and Charlie Curnow will kick the same amount of goals this week. They're currently tied for the Coleman, both on 30.
Yep.
So I reckon that's going to stay the same.
Okay.
And then leg 3. Every team, apart from 2, will kick 10 or more goals this round.
Okay.
Another successful consultation in the books. Feel free. We are open in the DMs if you do want to book us for a consultation of your own.
Yeah.
And actually, if you've got any ideas about a more creative name than Foot of Consulting.
Yeah, maybe that should have been our get forward, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, instead of repeating the same questions to run it back. Yeah.
Here we go into the debrief. Before the debrief.
Yeah, the debrief. The pre-debrief.
The pre-debrief.
Yeah. Yeah, any more creative names than Foot of Consulting, do let us know. One more question for you as well.
Yep.
What was the name of the airline?
We're not naming names, mate.
What did it? Why you reckon we're a chance for a sponsorship in the future?
But well, just potentially. Potentially.
Dream big.
Yeah.
Dream big.
It rhymes with pet bar.
But it really does. Yeah, it kind of does. All that for you to just. I wasn't actually expecting you to give it away at the end. Then I thought you were going to keep it a mystery. You've just given it away. Jesus. Anyway, what else can we say before we go? Anything? AFL 23, I don't think's too far away.
I think it comes out in a couple of days.
I think it does too. Is it out before the episode's out? Technically, I think it might be.
I think it drops on the same date.
I think it. Fuck, you guys have a busy Thursday on your hands.
That is
a Foot of episode, and let me double check.
It's almost
AFL.
like they've chosen to release it on the day that we're releasing the pod.
It's been delayed again if you play Xbox. But if you PS4, PS5, Steam, you can still get it on May the 4th. So there you go. You got Star Wars Day, Foot of episode, and AFL 23 on PlayStation and Steam.
All on the same day.
How are you supposed to fit all that in 24 hours?
I don't know.
That's not for us to know, though.
No, it's not. I am going to finish things off right now.
Okay.
In the way that actually, no. I want you to finish things off today.
No, I did it last week.
Did you?
Yeah, I tried to do it in a New Zealand accent, and it didn't really work.
That's right.
Nah, come on.
Keep kicking goals.